we'll entertain everything at the end. Come on.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Zamora with the Homicide Division Missing Persons Unit. To my left, I have Detective Sergeant Jimenez, Detective Brian Ford, and Detective Atlanta Claiborne. Today, we're discussing facts related to 25-year-old Rudy Farias, who was reported missing on March 7th, 2015. He was 17 years old when his mother reported him missing. During the 8-year time frame where he was missing, investigators followed up on many tips, leads, collected evidence, proving that Rudy was not missing during the 8-year period. Many of these facts included contacts and statements with relatives, friends, neighbors, and medical professionals. Rudy was recently identified as having previous HPD interactions, meaning that he made contact with patrol officers out on the street. However, during these contacts, fictitious names and date of births were given, misleading the officers, and Rudy would remain missing. In fact, both Janie, Rudy's mother, and Rudy himself gave fictitious names while interacting with various patrol officers. After investigators talked with him yesterday, it was discovered that Rudy returned home the following day on March 8th, 2015. The mother, Janie, continued to deceive police by remaining adamant that Rudy was still missing. She alleged her nephew was a person friends and family were seen coming and going. However, we disputed that. Currently, the DA has declined any charges at this time for making fictitious reports and failure to ID. Investigators have reached out to Adult Protective Services. HPD Victim Services has reached out. We've also connected Rudy with Victim Services to ensure that he has a method to recover. Now, based on Rudy's interview, there were no reports of sexual abuse reported. If there is a disclosure made, we will continue to investigate. Currently, the investigation is active and there are new leads coming in. We'll continue to follow those leads. We do take all allegations seriously, and any new information or facts that we receive will be investigated.
Thank you, Lieutenant. One question at a time, please.
Oh,
Do
no.
not yell them out.
I'm gonna let him translate, then we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Buenos días y gracias a todos por estar aquí. Antes de hablar sobre el caso involucrando a la
The detectives had no lawful means or probable cause to issue a search warrant for the residence, which was searched several times.
We're gonna work our way down and we'll get back to you. Go ahead. Yes.
On Dashcams, what is the timeline for installation?
There's no permanent timeline. As you can imagine, there's a cost to it, and there are some complications. To give you one just quick thing, the challenge. 200 of our vehicles are model 2014 or older. That's a challenge. I'm not, when we're up against a financial budget like we are, you got to pick and choose, and you got to prioritize some things. So, but as quickly as funding comes in, we're going to work to getting all of our patrol vehicles and those vehicles that come into contact with the public with dash cams. But I want people to realize one thing: 100% of our officers that's out there on the streets have body-worn cameras on, 100%. And we know for a fact that if you would choose dash cams, I'd love to have both systems, okay, 100%. But once you get out that car where most things happen in interaction, hand to hand, I want that body-worn camera. But as we get funding in, and as I said, the mayor is stepping up, and like he always does, but he can only do so much. This funding issue didn't start. And I'm going to say this, I stay away from politics, okay? But the citizens in Houston, at some point in time, we're going to have to really face how we're going to properly fund public safety. and public servants, okay? Because you need better fire trucks, you need better equipment. We can't keep kicking that can down the street. We're gonna have to talk about things of a revenue cap, but we'll leave it to the politicians. Next question. Go ahead.
So I heard you mention that there was no before search warrant before in between yesterday and the day that he was discovered, was anything searched? Was anybody questioned? Anybody go by the house?
Rudy and his mother were interviewed yesterday. As far as anyone going to the house, it's still active investigation. We can't release details pertaining to that.
Also, quick clarity,
Right.
was he 17 at the time that he was missing?
Yes, sir, that's
Yes.
correct.
So he's 25.
He's
25 now. Yeah. Go ahead, Mario. I get you. Hold up. Go ahead.
Was there a missing persons report filed by his mother at the very beginning?
That was in March 7th, 2015.
So there was a missing persons report that was filed,
Correct.
and so this is what I'm asking on this one. Could the mother be detained for filing a missing persons report and never once informing HPD that he came home?
Yes, she could be reported or detained. That offense is a Class C misdemeanor, which is similar to a traffic citation.
Right.
You're not going to jail.
Rudy
Go ahead.
Farias was found on Thursday. Your investigator spoke to him nearly a week later. Do you think it was a mistake not to speak to him sooner? You said yourself the DA has not accepted charges. That's a week where evidence could be destroyed. What's your
I'll let you
response to that?
So it's procedure for the investigation to go through a channel. And when it reaches us, we review it. There was no urgency to investigate a recovered or found person. And I say that because patrol officers made contact with him. They ensured that he was safe. They contacted HFD to make sure that he didn't need medical treatment, and he was cleared on scene by HFD. He refused transportation to the hospital. His mother took him to the hospital later on that evening.
What the lieutenant said, I think, is important. You can't force a potential victim of a missing person, okay, with nothing else to come in and give a statement. So it takes time to try to work with people to get that statement.
And Chief, I know you believe in transparency, and I just, for the public, we're gonna put this on the news and it's gonna cause more questions because yesterday we hear from the activist who makes these shocking allegations, and as the reporter who was there, I did see him myself go in and out of the room, so it was clear that he had some sort of communication.
Transparency doesn't come in front and maintaining the integrity of the investigation, and that's where my transparency stops. But and I'm gonna, this is the last question I'm gonna ask about the activists or anybody else. You know, we're gonna follow our investigation, and we treat it the same. Everybody has a role in society, and we respect everybody, including our activists. But the integrity of the investigation is number one, and we're gonna maintain that. Okay.
Going inside that
Yeah.
room, that jeopardized the investigation by allowing.
I don't think so. Go ahead. Anybody?
You know, where's Rudy at this moment and his mom?
Yes, we do. Rudy is safe. He is with his mother by choice.
And he's an adult.
Yeah.
He's a 25-year-old man.
Right. Hey, we're gonna get a few more. Mario right here, and then we're gonna work our way down. Probably four more. And we're gonna wrap. I said potential victim, and I want to be respectful on that. Yeah.
He disappeared when he was a young man,
17.
17
Yeah.
years old. There's been cases in the past where people have been brainwashed, where people have been told you cannot, and they're being held against their will. For everyone that's going to be watching this worldwide, because this is a worldwide story, how do you not separate him until you guys are able to get everything together, considering that he disappeared as a child?
Mario, you've been in the business for a long time, and I'm gonna let you answer that. Okay, we've explained everything, some of the challenges or whatnot. Here's a fact: he's a grown man. 20. Listen to what I'm saying. If you want me to answer you, no, he was an adult, 17. Hold up, okay. Not confrontational. You know, I respect what everybody does. Okay, but 17 years old, that's an adult in the state of Texas. Okay. A lot of things that we shared up here. So we're going to work our way through it. It takes a little while. There's a lot of development still, even last night. Okay, we know that everything's coming up. We're going to investigate it. The integrity is going to stay in place. We're going to treat him the same as any other person that comes through that we're conducting investigation on. I'm done with that part. Go ahead, Courtney.
This might be a better question.
Go ahead. Okay. Anybody?
What's the reason then? What can you tell us about why Rudy and his mother then allegedly lied for 8 years and said he was missing when he clearly wasn't?
I can answer that though. I mean, to
Yeah,
protect,
what's the
we
reason?
can't predict motivation or whatnot. We could just try to, yeah, right, yeah.
That they said, why go on living this life?
But you know, during the interview and the particulars of it, it's active investigation, and we respect that. But can't, yeah. Next question. Yeah. We wasn't just doing 8 years total investigation. Okay, so it went dormant for a little bit, but the case was still open. Okay, and I want to say this: until we find people, until we clear it, that's when it should be cleared. But if your question is, we expended some resources. Absolutely, yes. No, you're prioritizing. Okay, we're in a budget that there are challenges. Okay, and what I presented, we'll side note this. Okay, because it takes a little while to explain it. When you have challenges, people look at a $1 billion budget. Okay, and everybody just, oh my God, HPD has a lot of money. 92% of that goes to salary and benefits. So it's not a whole lot of money. We have to pay our people and we have to be competitive. The mayor just gave 7.2 million so we can get more cadets in. So there are a lot of challenges. What I'm saying is this didn't happen just in the mayor's administration. For years, you need so much amount, 14 million. I always talk about that to properly replace vehicles in our fleet. But some years when things are just, you got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, when you don't get that, it kicks it back and it makes it worse. We have an aging fleet. 50%, 50% of our vehicles, or a little bit more, are beyond the replacement life, and that's patrol vehicles, 100,000 miles, 5 years. Unmarked vehicles, 120,000 miles, 7 years. Okay, so we have a very aging fleet and a lot of other problems. So we will prioritize, and we're going to get there where we need to. But outside state, go ahead. Yes. No. No, we're not gonna say anything. Let me get you, and then I'm gonna get you. You're gonna be the last one. Go ahead.
You guys want to talk about that call for service?
We can. It's a call for service.
Yeah.
There was a burglary report last night at the house. Patrol responded, and we were alerted because it was a house of note, and it's been part of the investigation, and that is also now part of our investigation. What happened last night, and it's still
You
going.
said in the beginning of
Thank
this
you.
press conference that Rudy has made contact with patrol units at some point. Can you explain what that was, and does he face
Lieutenant.
any charges for saying that he had false names?
So it is a criminal offense to give false names when you're detained under arrest or you're making a valid police report. There was an instance where he did that, him and his mother. At this time, though, the district attorney has declined to accept charges on that until our entire investigation has been
So you
complete.
tried to charge him as well.
The facts were presented to the district
Good.
attorney.
Mario, we're gonna end it. Okay, go
Can
ahead.
you say what that contact was quickly though with him? You said patrol units. Was it like he was stopped in his car? Can you just?
I was gonna ask specifically, did HPD ever go to his home and with his mother and were any fictitious names given at that?
HFD, I'm sorry, excuse me. investigators did go out to the home multiple times. They talked to various family members, relatives, friends, neighbors, and yes, they were given a fictitious name. Um,
So was there contact made with Rudy at his home?
Let me close with this one thing, okay? Let me close with this, Mario. Look, we've been open as we can. It's not our first investigation, and everybody here understands what I'm saying about the integrity investigation. This is where we're going to end. We wanted to get up before a lot because this has come as not only a local, but a national, in some cases international, okay, because of everything that's going on. But it ends today, not our investigation, but as we get more information and when it's appropriate, we'll send out information. Okay. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for your patience, and thank y'all for what you do every day. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. All right. Thank y'all.